Let's be real, smartwatches are incredible. They're like something out of a sci-fi movie right on your wrist. But they all have this one massive, annoying problem. You're constantly worried about the battery. You spend all this money on a powerful device and then spend your whole day just trying to keep it from dying before you get home. So, what's the deal? Why is it such a struggle? Well, let's get into it.
And look, if that quote hits home for you, you are definitely not alone. This person on Reddit just nailed the feeling perfectly. It's the central mystery we're going to solve today. It feels like you bought this amazing sports car, but the dealer tells you to only drive it in first gear to save gas. It makes no sense, right?
And that right there, that's what I'm calling the smartwatch battery paradox. You buy it for all the cool stuff. The gorgeous always-on screen, the 24/7 health tracking, getting all your messages instantly. But then, what's the first bit of advice everyone gives you? Oh, you should turn all of that off if you want the battery to last. It's this crazy trade-off that we're going to break down.
Now, I'm sure you've Googled this a million times, and you'll always end up with the same list of so-called fixes. And yeah, they can help a little, but they always feel like a compromise, and they never, ever get to the real root of the problem.
Yep, we've all seen this list. Turn off the always-on display, dim the screen, kill Wi-Fi, stop the raise to wake, switch your heart rate to manual. You go through the motions, you check all the boxes, and your watch still dies by 8 p.m. If you're here, it's probably because you know these tips just aren't the whole story. And here's the thing. That's all just putting a Band-Aid on the problem. Those tips are for the symptoms of battery drain, not the causes. So let's forget the surface-level stuff for a minute and dig into the two hidden culprits that are the real energy vampires on your wrist.
All right, culprit number 1. This is something you can't even see. It's the constant, invisible conversation happening between your watch and your phone. Even when your wrist is down and the screen is off, there's this nonstop chatter happening over Bluetooth. And that background noise, it's a huge power hog.
Okay, so there's this technical thing called the Bluetooth tail effect. But stick with me, the idea is super simple. Every time your watch talks to your phone, the little Bluetooth radio inside doesn't just shut off right away. It stays on at full power for a few extra seconds, just in case more data is coming. It's exactly like keeping your foot on the gas at a red light, just burning fuel for no reason.
So how does that waste add up? Well, a lot of apps use a really inefficient method called polling. Picture this, your watch is basically tapping your phone on the shoulder every couple of seconds, all day long asking, hey, you got anything for me? Anything new? How about now? Each one of those tiny questions wakes up the radio, triggers that wasteful tail effect, and just sips away at your battery. Now, the smart way to do this is to just flip the script. Instead of the watch constantly asking, the phone takes control. It just stays quiet until there's actually something important to say, like a new message. Then, and only then, does it send an update to the watch. No more needless chatter. This one change makes a massive difference. And don't just take my word for it. The numbers are kind of shocking. A study from Penn State found that with just a couple of apps running in the background, that Bluetooth chatter was responsible for 43% of the total battery drain. That's huge. That's more than the processor, the sensors, and the basic watch functions combined. This invisible chatter is without a doubt public enemy number 1.
All right, so we've dealt with the invisible chatter. What's the next battery killer? Well, this one is hiding in plain sight. It's the thing you stare at all day long, your screen, more specifically, your watch face. You have to think of it this way. Every single pixel you decide to light up has a cost. You're paying a little pixel tax with every bright color and animation. So let's just ask it straight up. Can your choice of watch face literally kill your battery? The short answer? Oh yeah, absolutely. And it all comes down to one simple idea.
And that idea has an acronym, OPR, which stands for on-pixel ratio. It's just a fancy way of saying what percentage of the little lights on your screen are actually turned on. The more lights you have on, the more power you use. Simple as that. And here's the key number. For an always-on display, app stores tell developers to keep that OPR under 15%.
So on the left, you've got your classic high OPR face. It's flashy, it's got bright colors, a cool photo in the background, tons of information. It looks awesome, but man, it's just chugging your battery. Then on the right, you see a low OPR face. It's mostly black, it's simple, it's minimalist. It's designed for one thing, efficiency. And it'll make your watch last way, way longer.
Okay, so now that we know about Bluetooth chatter and the pixel tax, let's pull back for a second, because this whole battery thing, it's not just about a few settings you can change. It's actually baked into the very design and philosophy of the watch you bought. Every manufacturer has to make a fundamental choice. Do they go for more features or more endurance? And this table just lays it all out, clear as day.
You've got these beautiful, bright screen watches like the Apple Watch Ultra 2. You get about 12 hours of constant GPS tracking. Then you have something like the Garmin Endura 3. Its screen isn't as flashy, but it's super efficient, and it gets, wait for it, 120 hours. That's not a small difference. That's a whole different ballgame. They're just built for totally different jobs.
The easiest way to get your head around it is this. Watches from Apple and Samsung are like high-performance cars. They're sleek, they're fast, they're loaded with tech, but you've got to refuel them pretty often. A watch from a brand like Garmin, that's a long-haul truck. It's not trying to be the prettiest thing on the road, it's built for pure endurance. It'll go for days and days on a single tank.
Okay, so what do we do with all this info? How do we actually fight back and reclaim our battery life? Well, let's put together our new toolkit. Now that you understand why the battery is draining, you can stop just randomly flipping switches and start making some smart, strategic moves.
First up, tame that background Bluetooth chatter. Go into your settings and be ruthless. Turn off notifications and background updates for any app that isn't absolutely essential. Second, lower your pixel tax. Pick a watch face that's dark and simple, especially if you use the always-on display. Third, master your screen. Use that always-on display when you need it, turn it off when you don't. And finally, number 4, know what you bought. Embrace your watch for what it is, either a performance car that needs a daily fill-up or a long-haul truck built to go the distance.
So where does that leave us? It's pretty clear that the battery is the single biggest bottleneck holding wearables back right now. So as we look ahead, what do you think the next game-changing breakthrough is going to be? Is it a whole new type of screen that barely uses any power? Will we be able to charge our watches just by moving our arms? Or is it going to be something totally wild we haven't even thought of yet? The race is definitely on.